Prop the Mic here, PTM, on a Thursday, May 18th, 2023. We got game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. What's going on, Dave?
Yeah, I am excited because I was really excited for these to kick off, but it's hard to approach game one, so you don't really know how the coaches are going to set the lineups, like how the teams are going to come out. So I generally feel like we were pretty cautious in what we were playing in game one. I generally feel a lot more comfortable for game two. So ready to get some picks out.
Yeah, like you said, the coaches are coaching. They're making adjustments. You saw a big adjustment mid-game from the Lakers in game one. So, the playoffs are just harder, I find, in general, because there's you got players playing big minutes. There's different, there's adjustments from game to game just to keep people on their toes, which you don't necessarily have or really have at all in the regular season. So,
Right.
it's a challenge, but still fun.
So what do you think about the Heat taking game one?
It
Are you
was.
surprised?
Am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's Jimmy Butler is. He's on another level, man. This guy. He's obviously playing injured. I think a lot of guys with whatever ankle injuries nursing may not even see the floor. He's a dog. He's a gamer. I love that guy, even though he sent our Knicks
Yeah.
home.
I had a multi-day parlay, 3 games. 2 of them had already hit.
Multi-day. Okay.
Multi-day parlay, yeah, multi-day, multi-sport parlay. Something I was just doing for fun.
Okay.
2 of the games had already hit, and the third leg was the Celtics money line. And about 30 minutes before the game, I cashed it out.
Ooh,
I cashed out.
You just had a feeling, huh?
I just felt like the Celtics sometimes aren't prepared, right? Like they come out and they just play terrible sometimes, and then usually the following game they rebound really well. Like they come back really strong. So I'm expecting a big performance by them tomorrow, but they certainly haven't done themselves any favors. So
yeah. I mean, we spoke about this a few times where it's like they're like a really a back against the wall team. It's like, when they feel a little comfortable, and like I said, like when they're like, oh, we got this. Those are not the games they seem to do well. They don't. I unfortunately couldn't watch most of the second half because YouTube TV was. I don't know what was going on, but Miami's one of those teams that with the defense they'll play, going to zone, creates a lot of problems. Boston, notoriously not great at adjusting to zone defense and whatnot. So
yeah. So we will see. But tonight we got the game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. Lakers at the Nuggets, and the first game was interesting. It looked like it was just going to be a total blowout, and then the Lakers made a nice surge at the end of the game to almost come back. So, do we think that's an indication that this game could be more competitive? The spread on this one is -5.5. Totals 226. So, what are you thinking in terms of how this game plays out tonight?
I don't mind that spread with the Lakers. I that's kind of nice to me. The Lakers and the points there. I think it actually opened at about 6 or so, and it's come down. So obviously they're getting money, but the Lakers always get money. I'm also kind of feeling the under in this game. I think it was a lot. I mean, the Lakers shot lights out. It was like they couldn't miss anything in the second half. I think they hit 75% of their 2-pointers in the second half. I mean, that's not going to continue. And I could see this. I think game 2 against the Suns was like a very low scoring game in Denver, like 97-90 or something like that. I could see that happening again here.
Wow. You are in the minority there. That's a bold prediction after these teams put up 258 points in the first game. But I like that. That's probably a good call. All right, so I think just to reemphasize a point that we made, it's okay to play the same plays again, right? If you had success with that play in game 1 and it hit, it's okay to go back to it. You don't have to, reinvent
cute,
the wheel.
You
don't need to get cute. It's okay. So we will probably hit some of the same plays that we covered with Mike from Proptology on Monday. I think that was we had that show,
Yep.
but there's some new ones here too. So why don't you kick us off? You want to start on the Lakers side?
Sure.
Being an LA man.
Yeah, let's do it. So let's start with the one we already posted up on Twitter. I love this play. So we had the LeBron rebound and assist parlay. It's pretty awesome, especially in the playoffs here. We've been riding this thing, like you just said. Don't stick with what works. To point out, in game one, that parlay was 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and it was even money essentially. That's now down to minus 140, 8 rebounds and 5 assists.
Yeah.
So that was great value in game one, and that's why we were all over it. It's still at 140. It's a nice conservative bet. If that's where your head's at and that's your appetite for risk, I think you can definitely go back there. We posted up 9 rebounds. What did we do? 9 rebounds, 6 assists?
No, we did 8.
No, 8 rebounds.
We did both. We did 8 rebounds, 6 assists, which was plus 100.
Yep.
At the time we posted it. I think it's come down a little bit. And then also all the hit rates that we talked about on the post, they're all the same actually for 9 rebounds and 6 assists.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
So, but we just wanted that extra buffer. We got to plus money. We kind of like that already. But if you want to go 9 rebounds and 6 assists, that was plus 133, I think, as well. So,
yes, that is. And I also had, just to call out, to get that even money bet. Well, the 8 rebounds, 6 assists get you there, but also 9 rebounds, 5 assists also get you even money. So that's a way to go as well. The 9
that's a really good point.
Is pretty good. Yeah.
The rebound seems like the more like the higher hit rate portion of that. So the rebound seems pretty good at 8 or 9. The assist is probably where he'll be closer on, but I liked it anyway. I like 6 assists. I think he's good for that tonight.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, and we were using for that analysis. We were using 39 minutes. Because that seems to be what he's going to play tonight, unless he gets in some sort of foul trouble, which I don't think he will. Yeah. It's not a must-win game, but it's a pretty critical game for them. So
yeah, I think it's even good at 38. I think he's 16 for 18 on the rebounds at 38 minutes too. So yeah, I think that's pretty good.
All right, who else do you like on the Lakers side?
Okay, I like AD over 3.5 steals and blocks, minus 140. Okay. He's done it in 11 of 14 playoff games this season, averaging 3.2 blocks per game and 1.5 steals per game. So he's at 4.7 right there. So that 3.5 seems a little bit light to me. Obviously, the 140 is indicative of that. But I think this is a great play here. he's just been a monster defensively. So I really like that as well.
Yeah, remember, I haven't actually looked at this during the playoffs because it's kind of a small sample set, but you do recall on this show we've talked a lot about Denver and their inability to take care of the ball. So they are pretty loose with the ball. They do generate quite a few turnovers. So I think you saw that with AD. What did he have? 3 steals in the first game or something like that?
Yeah, I think he had 5 steals and blocks.
Yeah,
I forget how.
I think he was 3 and 2. Yeah. So. That's, he's going to be out there big minutes, and he's certainly, Jokic is going to have the ball quite a bit, right? They run that whole offense through him. So that yields a lot of opportunities for blocks. And then the steals is just a matter of playing time. So I like that a lot. That's a good one.
And I like the steals and blocks because sometimes it's a little questionable, if was it a block, was it a steal? I kind of like, especially for a guy like AD who's just doing, just all over the place. I feel a little safer with the combo defensive prop here.
Yeah, that drives gambling Twitter crazy when you have like one of these like gray area classifications. And people are like, that was a steal. No, it was a block. So
yeah, so you eliminate all that if you just go right with the steals and blocks. Yeah.
Smart man. Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
What else? Are you on Austin Reeves today?
No, I didn't get to him. It's not that I didn't like him. I just honestly, in the research, I just didn't get up to him. I was focusing on a couple other players. So
okay, so I don't have a real play. It's more of a lean. I'm still leaning under on him. I was on it in game one. It obviously didn't hit, but he shot 5 for 8 from 3. Denver was kind of daring him to beat them from three, and I don't think they do that again. I think they'll switch on to him more and really not let Reeves beat them. I also like, this is pretty crazy. He had 8 assists. So if I had to pick anything, I would fade his points, rebounds, and assists. I think gives you obviously the most wiggle room there. This was pretty crazy though. He had 8 assists in game 1, right?
Right.
You know how many potential assists he had? 7. Had less potential assists than assists, which
How's
just
that
means
even
like,
possible?
I mean, one was like a fluky. I guess one was like some sort of fluky where I don't even know. But all that tells me is that like that's not happening again. I don't think he's shooting 5 for 8 from 3. I don't think he's getting 8 assists on, even if you want to call it 8 attempts. I don't think he's converting 100% of his assists. It's not happening. Denver will pay more attention to him, so I think his par is at
23 and a half.
23 and a half. Yeah, I like that under here.
I can't get behind that, man. I just cannot get behind that. I mean, I like all the logic, but I just look how hot he's been in the last 4 games. 27, 27, 34, 33.
Mike Malone's going to make some he's going to make some adjustments and make sure he's not the guy beating him.
Okay.
So all right. I got one other here. Another fade. This is very atypical for me, but I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling it. So D'Angelo Russell, I want to go under on his 20 and a half par as well. He was just getting, he was getting ISO'd by KCP. KCP never tries to score in isolation. This is like, he was getting cooked. The Lakers realized very early on in that game that they're too small with him. That's why they switched things up. They got Rui out there. But I do think he does start, because he's one of these guys that if he doesn't start, they'll lose him for the rest of the series. He'll just check out, mentally.
Yeah, so it'll be the last game he plays on the Lakers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't I think he still gets to start, I'm feeling, but I think it'll be like, it could be one of these like 4 minutes into the first quarter he sits, and another thing I want to point out, I think you'll see some more of Jared Vanderbilt here. I think he's a guy that he can cover Jokic, he can guard Murray, he could switch on to MPJ. So I think he played 10 minutes. They were 10 pretty good minutes in that first game. So I think you could see some extra Rui and Vanderbilt. There's no props out on Vanderbilt. But I'd like to see if something comes out later or even in game. He might be a guy to look at some stuff on, because I think he gets some decent run here. And you have a guy who played a bunch of seasons in Denver, so very familiar with the altitude, with the team. He knows those guys. So, but getting back to D'Angelo Russell, under 20 and a half par. He's 0 for 7 when he plays less than 26 minutes. He's 4 for 18 when he plays less than sorry, did I say 26 minutes? He's 4 for 18 when he plays less than 28 minutes. He only played 26 minutes in game 1. So I like that as well.
Yeah, that's where my focus was too. I had an underplay on Russell. I actually liked his points better than the par. Okay. I looked at both. They were close, but the points just kind of were a little bit more compelling. Point line was 13 and a half. He's only crossed that in 1 of 4 games against Denver this year. Now, why it's propped up so much is in the playoffs itself. He's crossed this in 8 of 14 games. So that's why it's people are looking at that. And then, like you said, he's 0 for 10 this year in games where he's played 27 minutes or less. And then just to further your point, you know what his plus minus was in the last game?
Very negative.
Minus 25.
Yeah. The guy's just a huge defensive liability.
Right? The next worst player on the team was AD, who was minus 8. So he was like a huge negative for them. On the flip side, Hachimura was plus 10, so he was probably the biggest positive contribution, which kind of just meant he played more in the second half than he probably did in the first half.
Yeah.
And then if you look at his minutes too, played 26 minutes last game. 17 of those were in the first half. Only 9 were in the second half.
Yeah.
So they definitely already started to downshift his role, and the team started to perform better. So, like you said, I think I could see them starting off the same way. in terms of him being in the starting lineup, but I could also see him coming out very quickly.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It was a very it was very quick last time. They went with that kind of 3 guard lineup to start, which just seemed very small for to go up against the Nuggets. So I don't think you see that again. But like I said, I like the fact that I think he does start. So we're getting value here because obviously projecting him for somewhat of starters minutes. And I don't think this will be I think this will be a very popular pick today. Just in the same boat as Derek White last night. It seemed like
Yeah.
everybody was on him. Even if you're a little bit sharp, you were on him. I think the opposite here, the fade on Russell. If you're a little bit sharp, I think everyone's going to be on this today.
Yeah, I think so. And I also think if you're not comfortable with the under, you could also play this live. You could also see how the first quarter goes for him. Because
He is one of those guys. Yeah.
he could put up 6 points in the first quarter. Then his line goes from 13 and a half points up to 16 and a half. And then you could fade him because he's probably not going to play much
Good
in
point.
the second
Good
half.
point.
So that's another approach, but I just like playing it pregame.
Yeah.
What about on the flip side? So this is my other play, which is correlated. I like Schroeder tonight. Did you have anything on him?
I did not. No.
I just if Russell's playing less, Schroeder is kind of the opposite, right? Not as great of a scorer as Russell, but certainly a better defensive player there. I liked his 12.5 PA tonight, minus 120 in games in which he played 30 plus minutes. He's 26 for 30, so that's an 87% hit rate. And then if you dissect that even further, looking at the last 24 games where he's played 30 minutes, he's cleared his PA line of 12.5 in 23 of 24. 3 games against Denver this year with 30 plus minutes, 18, 18, and 11. So he didn't clear in that last game with 11 because he only shot 3 shots. And he hit 2 threes, so he got 6 points and a bunch of assists. So you think he'll kind of be more involved in the offense tonight?
Yeah, I think so. And I think I think you see that from the whatever 30, 31, 32 minutes, whatever he played in game one. Yeah, I think he'll stay out there. I think you may see Reeves even not start. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do. I could see that. I could see it being maybe like Russell and Schroeder, and Rui gets to start maybe with how well he did. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but yeah, I think whatever does happen, Schroeder will be an integral part of the Lakers' closing lineup and primary lineup. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else on the Lakers side?
No, that was all I had.
All right, cool. Let's go. You don't like the AD assist again? I was pretty sure you were going to go for that again. Is it 2.5 or is it 3.5 today?
I think it's still 2.5. Yeah, I think like you said, yeah, it's still 2.5 minus 140. Forget what it was the other day. It was a little bit less, probably minus 125. Yeah, I think you could go there. It just wasn't I don't know, wasn't where I landed today, but I think it's still a good play. Yeah.
Yeah. The promising part of that play, why I might play that one again, is he only had 1 assist in the first half and 2 assists in the second half. Actually, each of the last 3 games in the playoffs, he's had 1 assist in the first half and 2 assists in the second half. So, so that might also be a promising thing because I think their offense didn't start to click until the second half. So if they start out strong, like they finished, he could get 3 or 4 assists tonight. So I think that's a good one to run back.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Let's go over to the Nuggets side, the home team. Who do you like over there?
All right. Some of my deeper dives, deeper digging that I did here. So it turns out the Nuggets were sick at the end of that Phoenix series. Jamal Murray had like a really bad ear infection. MPJ was interviewed after game one. He said a bunch of guys still weren't feeling well. So I think you could owe a lot. You could credit Darvin Ham's adjustment with going to Rui, but you could also go with they were really fading there energy wise with all the minutes they were playing. So I think they're a little bit fresher today. Back at altitude for a couple extra days. So I just wanted to point that out. I think Michael Porter Jr. is in line for another big game here. He I like his rebounds, 6.5 rebounds. I think he's going to have. He had 10 rebounds, right, on 12 potential rebounds last
What is
game,
that? What
right?
does a potential rebound mean? What does
Whatever,
that?
however they whatever that second spectrum they can
Okay.
track those things. So I also think there's gonna be a lot more opportunities. The Lakers were hitting everything in that second half, right? They, like I mentioned before, they shot 75% on 2-pointers in the second half. So that's not going to continue. There's going to be more missed shots. I think I also think while I'm leaning on the under. I think there's going to be a lot more missed shots. It's going to be a little bit slower pace than it was in game one, and that's just going to create more rebound opportunities. So I like
Yeah.
his 6.5 rebounds. He's done in 4 of his last 5 games, averaging 9 rebounds per game. I think a double on him is also a nice if you want to like ladder it up and take a little shot. I didn't look at what that is, but I'm sure it's decent money.
Oh, it's got to be huge because his rebound line's only 6.5. He doesn't
Yeah,
come anywhere near there for assists. So it's it's
yeah.
probably the same bet as playing him for 10 rebounds. So
Yeah. So I like that. And then I also, to go back, we cashed his PR the other night. I like that. Austin Reeves was guarding him. Austin Reeves can't guard him. He's so much bigger. He just rises up and shoots over Reeves. So I like that. It wasn't like a couple misses he had weren't even like, they were just bad shots. They weren't even like, they don't have a lot to guard him unless they try to switch things up and AD starts guarding him. But nobody can predict that sort of stuff. So I like
yeah,
Porter 6.5 rebounds and 21.5 PR.
yeah, I like both of those plays. I had his rebounds just because there was such a big disparity between the line and what he actually did. Right, he had
Yeah.
10 rebounds and he's been averaging 9 rebounds over the last 5 games. I think he cleared in 4 of the last 5. So he's just like it's interesting. You're seeing like a bit of a superstar form, in him,
Yeah.
and I think he is the key to them winning the championship. Right?
Yeah.
If it's just Jokic and Murray, they could probably do it. But when they have a Michael Porter Jr. who's playing like a star,
Mm-hmm.
I don't I don't see anybody stopping them. Right?
No.
So
The way
so
he can
good.
shoot, I mean, he's one of the best shooters in the league.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he's
yeah.
on, he got a
But it,
40% 3-point shooter there. It's like unbelievable.
and his minutes too. He played 34 minutes last game, so a
Yeah.
lot of times he plays like 28 minutes or something like that. But he's been getting a lot more run, so
He
I like
has.
that. I think he's a good play. We did offer up his first quarter rebound line a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
He is continuing to hit that. He's continuing to get 2 rebounds most of the first quarters. But I will say his minutes are down in the first quarter. He's back down to about 8.5 minutes. So
Mm.
I personally don't think that's enough run to guarantee he'll get the 2 rebounds. So I would lay
Yeah.
off of that one today. All right.
Okay.
Who else? Come on, tell me you got something for Bruce Brown.
No, I don't. I like Bruce Brown, so I'm hoping you do.
Yeah, let me cover Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
I started with his points, 11.5 points. He's 7 of 12 in the playoffs. And then I went over. Sorry, he's 5 of 7 at home in the playoffs. Listen to this though. His points at home this season, 12.5 points. He's averaging at home and away 10.5, 10.8.
Ooh.
So much better home player. Um, when he plays at home with 24 plus minutes, which is pretty much what he's getting almost every game, 20,
Mm-hmm.
24, 25 minutes in the playoffs. He's got roughly a 70% hit rate. But then I also looked at his PA. His PA points were 11.5. His PA is 13.5. Very similar numbers to what I just said, but the percentages go up from like 70% to 72%. So I kind of like this PA, but I also like his points. So 11.5 points or 13.5 PA. What do
Yeah,
you think?
I like that. I think he's going to be getting, he's going to be getting some of those kickouts. I like it here. It's going to open up the way the Nuggets want to play. I think they're going to have opportunities for the shooters. He's not necessarily like a shooter on the level of Porter or Murray, or
No.
KCP, but I think he's gonna have some good opportunities here in this game. Yeah.
All right. Before you move on to your next pick, I have a
Yeah.
challenge for us because for the entirety of the playoffs, I've been trying to find a pick for this guy, and I
Okay.
cannot find it. I
Okay.
want a pick for Uncle Jeff.
I was looking at him today. I have
Right?
a feeling. I have a feeling whether it's this game or next game, there's going to be a Jeff Green game in this series where he's getting extra run. And yes, it's so funny that you brought that up. I dug into a little. I kind of ran out of time this morning, but yeah,
You
I
think
like
he's
it. Why you
gonna?
want
You think he's gonna crush with like 7 points one game?
to?
His line is
Well,
what, like 4.5 or something like
four and
that?
a half, 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no. Let's just tease that one. We'll maybe we'll do a
Okay.
deep dive for the next game on
Okay.
Jeff Green because I he's one of my favorite players in the league.
Yeah.
I just love how athletic he is at his age, and um,
Tantalizing.
he's tantalizing, and he's Uncle Jeff. So we'll
Yeah.
find something for him. But anyway, what's your next play?
All right. I like this is a little weird, I think, but Aaron Gordon over 2.5 assists is plus
Ooh,
106. Yeah. I think if they continue, yeah. So what worked for them is when they put Rui on Jokic, right? And then so that AD could guard Jokic, I mean guard Gordon at the 4, but then help off Gordon, right? So if they continue this and they keep putting Rui on Jokic, I think it's going to open up some opportunities for Gordon here. It's only 2.5 assists. He's done it in 4 straight games. He's done it in 15 of 21 this season when he plays 34 plus minutes. And I like his plus money. And you see some of those 15 games when he plays 34 plus minutes, he's getting 4 or 5 assists in several of those games. So I think this could be a sneaky little play, and it's plus money, which I love. So I like that.
yeah, I'm looking at the split. So in the 4 games that you just mentioned, he had 2 assists in the first half. Um, in the first 2 of those games, 1 assist in the third game against Phoenix. But looking at last game, he had all 3 of his assists in the first half. So
Mm-hmm.
what do you make of that? Played 20 minutes in the first half, played only 15 minutes in the second half. So he definitely plays more in the first half than he does in the second half, for the most part. So what do you like? What's your take on that cut
I mean, it
there?
kind of goes counter to what I was just saying about that the second half adjustment they made.
Yeah.
I guess it was due to the fact they were playing smaller in the first half, and I don't know, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean Denver scored 72 points in the first
That's
half,
true. That's true.
right? And they scored what was that? 60 points in the second half. So that's a
Mm,
big part of it too, is
yeah,
they outscored in the first half. But I don't know. I'm going to dive into that one. I like it because I like the 4 game streak, and it's not a huge number for him, and it's
yeah,
plus money. So a lot of
yeah,
good things there.
yeah,
But anyway, and the other approach would be, it's minus 286 for 2 assists. But if you want to start to build a little bit of a parlay, you could also try something like that. You could start with 2 assists. I think that's almost a guarantee in this game.
yeah, yeah. That's a good call. It's a nice leg of a parlay right there.
Yeah,
An
exactly.
adjusted parlay. Yeah.
Um,
Um, and then I had that was really my main plays. I want to see how you felt about going back to Jokic, like a Jokic 53.5 par. I mean, he's done it in 8 of 9 games. The guy was just, I mean, he was like jaw dropping last game. I don't see him slowing down. It's a giant line, but he's been getting there. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
yeah, yeah. What did he finish with last game?
Last game, he was at
He had like
69.
right. I mean, let's pull him up.
He had 3 games against Phoenix, 60, 64, 68. And those last 2 games, 54. But like I said, those last 2 games against Phoenix, Denver was they were secretly apparently a bunch of guys on the team were sick and whatnot. So I mean, and he still cleared in both of those. So
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the screen real quick just so we can.
he's got the magic. He's got the magic this playoffs.
All right, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, look at that, right? That's 6 straight games.
Yeah.
Um, I wonder if we kind of go to home. Yeah, 4 of his last 5 at home. I mean, he's just crushing. Let's not look at the assist line. We have that under, and he had 14 assists. That was really hard to watch. I was like
Never
hoping.
again.
I was look at these rebounds. 21 rebounds.
I know.
Oh my god.
A
First
21
half.
rebound triple double is insane, dude.
Dude, and he had 16 rebounds in the first half.
Yeah.
And 19 points. Second half he put up. Yeah, I mean, how could you not play this, right? It's like the guy's he's just crushing it. So I think that's a good play. I also liked his blocks tonight.
Okay.
So listen to this. I think one block was minus 140 or 150. So, you're paying some juice for it. But again, if you want to throw that as part of a parlay, or if you're just okay playing that works too. But he's got a 64% hit rate when he plays 37 plus minutes. He's been consistently playing 37 plus minutes. When he does play those 37 plus minutes, he's got a block in 7 straight games. So that's, we said last pod covering this series, that's not his game, right? He's not a defensive guy, but he did have 2 blocks last game. And the thing that I like the most is AD shot 23 of the Lakers' 84 shots, right? So that's 27% of the shots. So over a quarter of the volume that Lakers were shooting came out of AD's hands, which means Jokic, for the most part, is guarding him, right? So I think that will only rise because AD was one of the better players in that game, and I think it's just going to yield a lot of opportunities. So one block minus 140 or minus 150. You could also play 2 blocks, which he's done, which he did last game at plus 310. So
nice. I like those the steals and but it's minus 180. Not so nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we think the big men are going to continue to contribute. Both AD 3.5 steals and blocks, and then Jokic, either 1 or 2 blocks, whatever you like to play there.
Yeah.
So
all right,
cool. What else? Anything else?
That was all I had.
All right, so you're picking the Nuggets to win tonight, but the Lakers to cover. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you think the Lakers could take this one?
The Lakers have to take this one. So if the Lakers have a chance in this series, they have to win this game. So I think I don't know. I like them with the points. Calling who's going to win outright, I don't know, but I think I like those Lakers with the points. I also like that under. So maybe adjust both of those, Lakers plus 10, and adjust that under up a little bit, and that might be a nice little something.
Yeah, definitely. All right, cool. Very good. So enjoy the game tonight, and I love the start time of these games. I was curious what you think. Is this one at 8:30 again, Eastern time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they all are, yeah. It works for me. I mean, there's nothing better than West Coast sports times, whether it's NFL 10 a.m. on Sundays, or the 4 p.m. or the fact that everything's wrapped up by 10 is just when I'm used to being up till 1 a.m. for these late games
that works
in New York. Yeah,
works better for your early bedtime, I guess.
Yeah, yes, it does.
All right.
Nice work.
See you later.